What a library is at its core is, a place for collections, a place for community. Everything kind of ties back into that, why the library was started and what we do.
In 2023, a staple in the Naperville community celebrated its 125th anniversary. Nichols Library first opened its doors to serve the city's 2,200 residents in 1898. Over the past 125 years, the library has moved locations and added thousands of books and resources. But one thing has remained consistent: its dedication to educating the Naperville community. The story of Nichols Library began when 6-year-old James Nichols arrived in the United States in 1857 with his mother and stepfather. The self-taught German immigrant attended Northwestern College, now known as North Central College. After graduating, Nichols returned to the school as a professor. He wrote the business guide to use as a textbook, which sold over 3 million copies by 1917. He used the money to work on his publishing company, but eventually decided to put some funds towards something that would have a lasting impact on the community.
On his deathbed in 1895, he wants to leave $10,000 to the city of Naperville so they can have a library, so the children of Naperville can have access to books in the way that Nichols didn't as a child.
The original Nichols Library, location at 110 South Washington Street, opened with about 700 books.
Naperville is still predominantly a small farming community. It has a pretty vibrant downtown. Nichols is involved in a lot of businesses. Nichols Library on Washington goes through a series of renovations as the town is growing to sort of better serve the community. So they introduce a children's room, they will redo the stacks, they actually get an art collection.
Over the next 125 years, the Naperville Public Library system was formed. Nichols Library moved to a new location in 1986, 200 West Jefferson Avenue, just a few blocks from the original site. Nichols was joined by the Naper Boulevard Library at 2035 South Naper Boulevard in 1992, and the 95th Street Library at 3015 Cedar Glade Drive in 2003. Today, Nichols Library is home to over 350,000 items, including modern technology like downloadable ebooks and e-audiobooks.
The community loves the library, but we're always adapting to do things. Like, for instance, our technology when I started here was we had computers. Now we've got all kinds of things where people can come in and do, use our green screen room, our sound recording studio, our digitize old photos and music and things like that. We're constantly kind of reevaluating what we have here and trying to make sure that what we have is what the community is looking for, and giving them things maybe they don't even know that they want that is interesting.
Along with its resources, Nichols hosts events for community members of all ages. In 2010, to better serve the growing diversity of the city's population, the Naperville Public Library introduced dual language storytime. A Naperville local or volunteer who is a native speaker of the language shares books, rhymes, and songs with young children and their parents. Amy May has taught Chinese storytime for the past 3 years.
It's like my best time because they're always smiling and they always hug me, say thanks, and I feel motivated. This is the best job I ever had. I used to work in corporate office, but I feel so fun working in the library.
In-person programs like dual language storytime were put on a hold during the COVID-19 pandemic, though the library pivoted to keep other services going. Della Terza said Nichols Library has seen a resurgence in attendance in the past year.
Something that's been very consistent is, people coming in and checking out our materials, people coming in and checking out books. But then another thing that's kind of been growing again since the pandemic is just people coming to meet here at the library. Prior to the pandemic, there was a lot of just talk about the library as a third space and a space where people could come and feel comfortable and gather and meet with people.
Since taking over as the Naperville Public Library's executive director in 2019, Della Terza has overseen Nichols Library becoming the second busiest library in Illinois. He hopes for more success in the years to come.
One of the things that really drew me to working here and that keeps me here is that the library is really well beloved by the community. I mean, so many communities around here have libraries that are just not well utilized, and Naperville loves its library. Our collections are well used, our space is well used, our programs are well attended, and that to me is just a testament that hopefully we're doing what people are looking for.
Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Will Payne.